Smallville! What a mistake. Okay, so maybe that's not fair. I'm coming at this from the perspective of someone who knows the long 10 years of hell this show became, but a series isn't gonna make it a decade without being a hit at some point. Smallville was a real progenitor for the style of superhero shows we have now. It gave birth to the likes of Arrow and The Flash and all of these other nifty properties. And nothing is more popular than superheroes right now. Hell, you can't escape them at this point. And while superheroes were starting to catch on the big screen when Smallville was being made, on TV they were considered kind of, embarrassing. The less like a superhero show it could be, the better. Which is why focusing on Clark Kent's younger years, without those silly looking tights, and making it a teen drama, really appealed to the WB audience. And the show that put the WB on the map was Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which had perfected the Monster of the Week formula, which is exactly what Smallville's first handful of seasons were, and in my opinion, when it was most successful. Because it really was not a good superhero show. Clark, along with his pals Pete and Chloe, would take on kryptonite-powered villains of different flavors, while Clark pined for his on-again, off-again girlfriend Lana and allied himself with the mysterious Lex Luthor. Far and away, the most intriguing part of the series was his friendship with Lex, who to this day is considered one of the character's best portrayals. It also helped that it deviated from the mythos we knew about Superman, which was great in a series hampered by the fact it was a prequel. The show stopped trying to be Buffy, the WB became the CW, then storylines became more and more convoluted, then they got ugly, then they were just spinning their wheels, and then we were wishing for sweet mercy and for the show about a bunch of gaslighting a-holes to finally end. Season 10 was okay. Anyway, I bring this up to put into context where we all were in Season 7 during this particular episode, where things were starting to really stink the joint up, and the remnants of those early seasons had no place anymore. Hey, here's a fun game to play. Try talking about Smallville on Twitter and see how long it takes for someone to bring up the Allison Mack sex cult. This was spectacular news for Sam Jones III, because that meant people stopped referencing his jail sentence for trying to sell 10,000 doses of oxycodone. I'm talking about this now because I know what the comments will look like, so I will sum things up this way. These actors are not their characters. There are plenty of reasons to hate them within the show. Well, hate applies to Chloe. In order to hate Pete, you actually have to remember he exists. So Pete! Pete! At the end of Season 3, it became obvious they really had no ideas for Pete, a mostly inoffensive but severely underdeveloped character. There were also other things going on behind the scenes because this show is messy. He was written out without an incredible amount of fanfare, but apparently that wasn't a shitty enough exit. So 4 years later, they decided to bring him back for one last terrible swan song. And oh, what a departure it was. This was Season 7, Episode 13, Gum. Oh, sorry, I meant Hero. Did you ever notice that Stride Gum has a logo that's a big S, just like Superman? Well, someone in 2008 did, because they decided this was the perfect opportunity for cross-promotion. And so Stride was placed within a handful of episodes during Season 7, as well as featured prominently in the Smallville online comic. And look, we all know the game with product placement. If implemented in non-obtrusive or clever ways, it's not even really an issue for most of us. But hey, what if instead of that, they did the most obtrusive and embarrassing thing they could think of and just dedicated, like, an entire episode to Stride Gum? Make the plot revolve around it and everything. Hell, don't even make it an appealing promotion. Tell everyone it's tainted with alien rocks. Yeah, that'll make Stride proud while you're rolling around in a bed of those Stride bucks. Oh, and be sure to make it the episode where they bring back a main character beloved by tens of people to really piss off your audience. Despite all odds, Hero became a fan favorite episode and is well regarded to this day. Just kidding, it's considered a piece of shit and one of the worst episodes they ever made. Oh my god, this is the very first shot, oh my god, amazing. Stop me if you've heard this one. So the band OneRepublic is having a concert in a Stride Gum factory. I mean, as you do. Okay, Smallville, I'll play along. Let's pretend that a factory concert is a thing that happens. Look at this red carpet event. People are lined around the block to get into that factory. I guess I just don't understand the glamorous farm life.
I can't believe we're playing the Stride Gum Factory. We've made it to the big time, boys.
At this this point, the viewers are so starstruck by Stride and OneRepublic that they forget that this is also an episode of Smallville. That's fitting, because Jimmy and Kara are there, and this is during Kara's abandoned amnesia storyline, which we also tried to forget.
So, we used to come to places like this together.
Yep, I took you to factory concert dates all the time. Pretty romantic, huh? I guess. We got to second base by some Kraft macaroni.
How about I reintroduce you to your favorite bevy?
Poor Kara, being fooled into thinking she's dating some idiot who refers to beverages as bevies. Hey, I'm here. Pretty underwhelming intro, huh, folks?
Yeah! Roomie Zero!
Yes, folks. After 4 long years, Pete has finally returned, and here's his first line.
The promoter needs some gum and I'm fresh out. You got any?
Look around, Einstein. We're in a gum factory. Right.
So, people are just hanging out by industrial equipment unsupervised with access to all of their products? Oh wait, my bad. There's a bunch of plastic flaps in the way. No one's getting into this fortress of solitude. Hey, I thought Pete was getting this gum for the promoter, and now he's helping himself? Pfft, well, I hope that gum is infected with kryptonite by some convoluted means, you thief. Wow, so far not a single unstupid thing has happened since I pressed play on this episode. Yo dog, I heard you like product placement, so we put product placement in your product placement.
Get strided!
Hey, look out!
Stupid. Oh man, how clever is that? He got stretchy powers because he ate some gum. Whoa! Even in his grand return, Pete leaves us wondering, but why?
Hey, what happened?
I don't know why, but that makes me laugh. Hey, can someone pour me a bowl of lies? Hey Clark, what's up? Remember when I tried to murder your friend and then got convicted of killing my parents, but I guess with money you can just leave jail and then go back to being a rich guy who harasses a bunch of hot young people and annoys your dad into a fatal heart attack? I was once blind and had a terminal liver disease too. I think I was an alien prophet. Anyway, long story short, I'm now your father figure who hangs out for casual morning coffee at your house. Anywho, Lionel and Lana have been discussing Kara's amnesia. Despite all of the lying and making up a fake backstory for no discernible reason, somehow she is not remembering that she is Supergirl. In a strange subversion of our expectations, Clark thinks maybe they should just tell her the truth.
She won't believe you. Clark, we have to protect her.
By lying to her even when she asks questions directly about Kryptonian stuff, making her question her sanity, and leaving her vulnerable to superpowered villains she has no understanding of that try to kill us every week. You're right, Lana. How do we prove to Kara, someone with superpowers, that superpowers exist? Currently, Kara is so fed up with everyone lying that she's hanging with Lex, the only person who is honest with her, and somehow he is the bad guy and they are the good guys in this situation. Ah, I love Smallville.
He found her. She trusts him.
What the hell is trust?
Pete Ross. What a surprise.
What are you doing here?
More importantly, what's he doing here?
Nobody even gives a shit. This episode is an unemotional roller coaster.
I guess more's changed around here than I thought.
Meanwhile, at the I-Man mansion, my god, is it true? Can Stride's long-lasting flavor really beat my tenure on this show? And here's Pete chowing down on some Stride, having unwrapped it and thrown it into his gaping mouth without ever having looked at it, like a normal person.
Blammo! Looks like you aren't the only one with a secret, Clark.
Pop quiz! What reason did they give Pete for the obligatory friendship wedge that leads to him misusing his powers? Number 1. He's upset that he was written out to protect Clark's secret and then everyone found out after he left. Number 2. Lionel Luthor ruined his family's life and is a literal murderer and is now Clark's BFF. Number 3. OneRepublic gave a pretty bad concert at the Stride Gum factory. Number 4. Jealousy.
I had to leave my life behind because of you, Clark. And to be honest, it was better than living in your shadow.
Ah yes, the one thing you want to evoke during your Smallville episode, Space Jam. Slow on the uptake Clark finally notices that Pete has become Stretch Armstrong, so now he can be a hero just like him. Except no, Clark says they gotta fix this. Nobody who inherits kryptonite powers is ever good, except all those people they met who were good, including Chloe, who actually isn't good, but for the purpose of the show does not count.
You know what it does? It warps your reality.
The only thing warped is how many more people's lives you're gonna ruin by keeping your powers a secret.
That's not true. Who told you I have powers?
Meanwhile, Jimmy Olsen thinks he can get an interview with a meteor freak the only honest way he knows how. Blackmail.
The press would turn Pete into a circus freak.
It's just an interview.
Holy scoops! I have no understanding of the world!
I'm off to the Stride Factory. I'm gonna interview a few of Elastic Man's comrades before they start the next gig.
They're still at the Stride Factory?
I have no idea who this is.
Lex, did you know that one piece of Stride sugar-free gum is only 4 calories?
Yes, I did, Chloe, because I've been spying on all of your computers.
You can't do that!
Pretty big words from a cub reporter. Shouldn't you be using them to write stories?
Good idea. I think office espionage has a nice ring to it.
You realize I'm your boss, right? Who the hell is gonna publish that article? Fuck, you're dumb.
So much for my happy ending.
Stride, 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 stride.
What's Clark doing, Lion? That's new.
Maybe you didn't see what you thought you saw, Jimmy.
But what you did see was the savings you'll receive when you buy Stride gum in bulk from one of our wholesale marketplaces.
Jimmy's so stupid. He just can't fathom any negative consequences to going public about your superpowers. Combine that with Clark's inability to not lie about the color of the sky, and you've got both ends of the idiot spectrum.
Sensing minty fresh breath and flavors that last for hours longer than competing brands.
Ah, the old never-explained kryptonite leak. They long ago stopped caring about reasons for things happening.
I always knew the torch would light the way to the big leagues.
I would have contacted you before now, Pete, but I never leave this office, apparently. I'm allowed 1 set per season.
So no one in that busy room saw that, or...
Turns out the biggest obstacle to Pete revealing a secret is every single person's inability to take stock of their surroundings or have peripheral vision or even straight-on vision.
Are you looking for something?
Why is everyone so sinister? What is the reasoning? Stride wouldn't approve of this.
What do you know about these symbols?
As much as anyone in Smallville, I guess. They're from a local Indian tribe. She won't believe you.
This is especially rich coming from Lana, who spent approximately 3,000 hours of television doing the same scene on a loop with Clark bitching at him because he's a liar. But as soon as she's in on the secret, it's deceit central, baby.
You know what's amazing? How you and Clark can just lie on autopilot like that.
This is every episode for eternity.
Lex is the way of being the hero at the exact moment that you need to be saved.
So just don't save anyone. We're the heroes. Meanwhile, Pete thinks he has a solution to Chloe's privacy problem. A computer virus. Okay, it's one of those viruses with a logo and a handy countdown screen.
Quite the hero these days, aren't you, Pete?
Yeah! Rumi Zero!
Looks like Pete's been caught in the act. So, 2 days into a superhero run, he's failed miserably. Now that Lex has the upper hand, he twists Pete's taffy arm into helping him steal Kara's bracelet from his father's vault. He also threatens to expose Chloe's stupid super healing tears, and under the most unlikely of circumstances, he finds someone who actually cares about her. If one of us were threatened with that, we would have been volunteering to help him ruin her life sooner.
But then we're hit with this plot twist.
Stride Gum Factory?
It's been used as an underground venue for bands until it was shut down a few months ago.
What? Underground venue? The Stride Gum Factory? I just kind of made up in my head that this was like a promotion deal or something, but now I have too many questions. Pretending this was some sort of secret club that only the cool kids knew about, what the hell was that celebrity entrance with the big glowing Stride sign? And indie underground band OneRepublic? OneRepublic in 2008 was playing underground concerts in a Stride Gum Factory. And if this was shut down months ago, then was this an illegal concert? One that's apparently going for days on end? And why was gum still sitting there in pallets if they aren't operational? Unless they are operational but haven't noticed OneRepublic in the next room? Was Stride in on this? How deep does the rabbit hole go? There's not even any reason for them to mention this. It's just an offhand comment.
It's already been closed? Maybe next time they won't let the flavor last quite so long.
Yeah, take that, Stride, you piece of shit!
I found the source of Pete's powers. Kryptonite-enhanced gum.
Well, it just sounds idiotic when you say it that way. Why does every single second of this episode kill as many brain cells as it possibly could?
Chewing gum? Is nothing sacred anymore?
Well, that was my last brain cell. Thanks a lot, Chloe. Okay, so at this point, Pete still is not aware that he's gotten his powers from delicious Stride Gum. He just keeps like 30 packs on him because he's got a serious problem. So just anyone can walk into Lionel's office and there's no security? He just strolls in and encounters no one in the way. Did Lex really need someone with stretchy powers to help him steal this?
I wouldn't know anything about powers, Pete.
I guess you didn't know your new best friend had that?
Must be a reason.
Lionel Luthor would never betray me. He's always been my most trustworthy friend. I tried to warn you, son. Hate everyone because of their name alone. Speaking of being an incredible asshole, did I mention that not wearing a mask means freedom? Wow, hard to be a bigger asshole than that.
Hey guys, are we having an asshole meeting?
Why were there so many terrible people on this show?
Wait, so he just changes his mind and leaves without the bracelet? This whole episode is a waste of time.
Yeah, the police can never shut down OneRepublic. Illegal Stride Gum Factory concerts for everyone.
Wait, Lex picked the Stride Gum Factory as their clandestine meeting place? Why?
This is the perfect place to meet in secret because no one has ever discovered the secret to Stride's amazing flavor. Lex, you aren't worthy of trying Stride's hit varieties such as Eternal Melon, Mintacular, Sean White Mint, Uber Bubble 2.0, and Fearless Fruit. I see you're a man of taste. I think you'll find that you and I aren't so different in our love of gum that is both sugar-free and packed with serious flavor.
Having lost his pack of Stride, Pete is now a powerless loser again. Commence the Stride Gum Factory torture scene! To be a fly on the wall when the Stride people watch this episode.
I wouldn't know anything about powers!
And it was at this point, when Michael Rosenbaum read the Stride Gum Factory concert script and saw Lex is knocked unconscious for the 700th time, that he decided this would be his last season of Smallville.
Pete?
Relax. It's kryptonite free.
Why the hell is Jimmy laughing? He doesn't even know what kryptonite is!
I don't have any powers! Who said I have powers?
And Jimmy bravely breaks up with his amnesiac girlfriend without telling her to get with the turdly Chloe.
Is there any interest in seeing if we can breathe some fire into this ember over a cup of coffee?
What assholes! Holy shit! Evil! Why is Smallville like this? You know, it's pretty sad when Kara's best option is to go live with the guy who we just saw torturing someone in a Stride Gum Factory, but at least there's a happy ending.
So much for my happy ending.
Gum! It's aged like fine Stride. It's hard not to think this was done to get back at Sam Jones III for something, but I don't know what. All I can say is this was a hilarious mess, if you can get through the infuriating parts that don't involve the Stride Gum Factory. The idea is ludicrous, our characters are either dumb or evil, and it was an unnecessary add-on to Pete's story that already had a lukewarm conclusion. It might be too late to apologize, but at least we got a laugh during this dreadful season of television. This episode was a stretch.